This should be an interesting dive. I'm using the Deus 2 with their high frequency coil. There's been a few complaints, let's say, of leakage issues. So I was nervous about taking it down 10 to 15 feet because the people that had leak issues were actually just waders. I contacted XP and they sent me a different O-ring for the battery compartment along with some silicone. And I got to start by telling you it worked great. I was down there underwater for an hour and a half, actually detecting for an hour and 15 minutes. And when I got out, I took a look at the battery compartment and it was perfect. So that worked well. I noticed the machine was a little chatty, so I used pitch 2 audio in dive program, discriminate 8, silencer 2, sensitivity 85, sol sensitivity 5, frequency max 29, iron volume 7, reactivity 1, and audio response 6. I have about 30 feet of rope, so I'm taking up the slack on the dive flag, so it's actually right above me. What was real exciting to me is this place is very familiar, and I can tell when there have been cuts. And this place was opened up majorly. You could see a lot of rocks and shells in areas where there usually was deep sand. And you're going to see the signals were abundant, and they just kept on coming. The high frequency coil at these settings will false if it touches the rocks. So I learned quickly to keep the coil above the rocks, maybe an inch or so, and it made all the difference in the world. This first signal was hitting hard with that pitch 2 audio. Very exciting way to start the day. This was a small 14 karat bracelet. The signal only read 35, but the pitch 2 audio gave a real solid blasting loud hit. I've never heard signals so clear underwater before. To try to make it as stable as possible, this is where I lowered the sensitivity and salt sensitivity. This next signal was a banging 45 and it was very shallow, and I was shocked to see back to back. This one's different. It's a hollow ring, but it is 18K. I'm going to let the video just run for a few minutes now without any cuts, just so you can see the frequency of the targets. This high frequency coil kicked out so many open, tiny, gold plated earrings, most of them read between upper 50s and upper 60s. This open earring is sterling silver and it read in the upper 60s. Good looking piece, but it's gold plated. Seeing that glimmer always gives me a scare, but this is another open gold plated earring. I have to take an hour's worth of footage now and cut it down to about 10 minutes, so we're not going to let it run straight through. I'll just show you some highlights. This gold-plated bangle bracelet read 92. A sterling silver Pandora bracelet. This signal was a blasting 95. This open earring was gold plated sterling silver, so it read higher than the others. It was actually 83. You could tell from the double beep this is a strong, very shallow signal. Ended up being a tungsten carbide ring reading 51. The weather's a little stormy outside with some wave activity, and you could see the debris starting to kick up. The current is moving very slowly at this point, but you could tell it's just starting to pick up a little bit. Working on the edge of this washout where it turns into deep sand. I got a signal here that was a quarter, and then next to it I get a real deep 92. This is an older Apple iWatch with one of those magnetic bracelets. This thing was meant to be lost because those magnets really don't work that well. Seaweed is now coming by in clusters. Just have to wait for it to pass. Blasting loud 59, shallow in the rocks. Fooled me for a second because of its white color, but it ended up being 14K. Another shallow, blasting loud 51 tungsten ring. Costume jewelry, but looked good. Feel the current picking up, so it's time to grab the dive flag and head on in. It is nice when you hit a washout. There's a lot of glitter here, but there's actually 3 pieces that are real. The other ones are all plated. Some of them are gold-plated sterling. It's kind of a mixture. So it was certainly a lot of fun, and that high-frequency coil was hitting every open gold earring, no problem, loud and clear. And the best part is there are no leakage issues whatsoever with the battery compartment. Overall, very pleased. So just to go over a couple of the pieces, this one is a bracelet that's 14. The next one here is a hollow ring, and this one's 18, but it's very light. Next one is a man's wedding band, that's 14. This one is a silver-plated metal. The other one here is a sterling silver Pandora bracelet. Has a little heart link with the name Pandora on it. Don't know what this wolf head is about. And this bangle bracelet is just costume jewelry, but it's a good looking piece. Overall, a lot of fun. Conditions were rough, so I look forward to getting back here soon with a better day so you have better visibility. Thanks for watching.